Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of AutoFreeWay. Francisco Claus here. Not ready to give out gifts yet, but hopefully soon. In this episode, you'll get to see me play with a new gizmo that I got for the iPhone. Has a new microphone, better lighting, better holder. So hopefully things will get improved, especially the audio, because it also has a wind protector for the mic. So hopefully that will help. In addition to that, we will revisit or visit memory lane and give you some more background information about how I got a hold of the C63s. And then we will talk also about baby's new shoes. And last but not least, then we'll talk about the 10 best cars for 2020 according to Car and Driver. So with that, let's go. So I'm filming today from my garage because we have another beautiful sunny day in Florida. Well, actually it's raining. It has been raining since about an hour or so. And by the way, this is take number 2 of the entire video. I actually finished shooting the entire video, but guess what? Because it is new, I forgot to turn on the new microphone. You gotta do that. Well, in any event, let me give you some information about what I got. It's called Movo, that's the brand. I got it from Amazon, had good reviews. So far, so good. I guess you guys will be the judge, the final judge on that in terms of quality of sound, because the video will be the same. It's from my iPhone 10. So hopefully the sound will be much better, especially in windy conditions. Today we don't have much of a wind, but in addition to that, I'm not outside because it is raining, okay? So some background on the car. You already know part of it. Mike from AutoVlog, thanks Mike, owned it for about 2 months in 2017 before the incident with the water. According to what I know, he was driving on a puddle of water, large puddle of water, and another car, higher car, an SUV or maybe a pickup truck, basically caused a wake in the water, and that's how water got inside the air intakes. These are the air intakes of the C63s. As you can see, they're very low to the ground. There's probably about, I would say maybe 8 inches to a foot between the ground and the actual bottom part of the air intake. So water got into the air intakes and basically shut off the engine. I was told by one of the Mercedes-Benz mechanics that that is actually one of the protective measures that the Mercedes-Benz cars, I don't know if that's true or not, all the cars or not, but basically once it senses water in the engine, it shuts down the engine in order to prevent further damage. So what happened is that water did get into one of the pistons, and I incorrectly said, or actually Mike said it because of me, that the piston arm got bent. Well, it's not a piston arm, that's what I was told by the guy who actually repaired it, but it's a connecting rod to the piston. So that one got bent. Lo and behold, the insurance company said, well, no, that's too expensive to repair. I guess they ended up paying Mike either the residual value or the full value of the car at the time. I'm not sure, I haven't asked. But basically they totaled the car. So it has a salvage title. And they sent it to Copart for, auction. They sent it to Copart for auction. And this guy in Maryland ended up buying it. He bought it for about $22,000. He took a risk. It was a gamble because he didn't know the extent of the damage. But that's what he ended up doing. So he bought the car and he ended up basically disassembling the engine in order to get to the piston. This is the engine bay. This is the engine of the car. You can see the turbos on each side. And one of the things that is particular to AMG is that each AMG engine is handcrafted by a particular individual. In this case, I can't read exactly the first name. It's either Lavo or Savo Popovic. That's the guy who handcrafted this engine in Germany. So this other guy in Maryland is the one who basically fixed the engine. He bought it. When he bought it, car had only about 3,500 miles. That's what Mike put into the car. And then in addition to changing the connecting rod, he changed all the spark plugs and drained basically all the fluids, replaced the fluids. But in addition to that, which is one of the things more important, that was most important to me, is that he took it to Mercedes-Benz, and Mercedes-Benz actually did a complete checkup of the car, both the engine and the electronics, and it came back clean. So, and he posted actually that inspection when he was selling the car. So how did I get a hold of the car? Well, he put it on eBay. At the time, I was actually in the Middle East. My family and I also took a gamble about 10 years ago and moved to the Middle East. And as we were preparing to come back a few months before we actually got back to the US, Florida more specifically, I was looking for cars. So I looked for a bunch of different cars that I like and found too expensive. I looked into the Maserati Gran Turismo. I looked into the the Ferrari 599. I looked into the Corvette, also the Stingray C7, the Grand Tour. I had it all specced out. I talked to the dealership, selected all the interior colors, the exterior, all the options. So I was basically very, very close to buying it. I also consider another Mercedes-Benz, the AMG GT. Well, all of the cars became very expensive. Well, actually, are very expensive, and even the Corvette. Once I spec'd it out and selected all the options, it became a six-figure car. So I said, well, that's a lot of money to spend on a car. Okay, so now this comes into the picture. I started looking on eBay, and I came across this. I contacted the seller several times. I made an offer. He refused that offer, rejected the offer, made a second offer. He rejected the offer. So I finally contacted him and said, okay, what is the minimum that you will take for the car? He gave me a figure. I sent a check, and I bought the car sight unseen, or the car unseen, only on eBay. Again, a gamble, but a gamble that I think paid off very well, because I got a $80,000-$90,000 car for a fraction of the cost, somewhere in the 50s. That's what I paid for the car. So the car is in Maryland, so I hired a transporting company, and they took to Sarasota. That's where I have my friends in rent house. They specialize in German cars. They received the car, they inspected the car, they gave it a thumbs up, and they also stored the car for about 2 months because I'm still in the Middle East. So they stored it. They had the trickle charge in air-conditioned storage, etc. So 2 months later, June 23rd, to be exact, 2018, is the first time that I saw the car. So that's the story or the history of the car and how I got to buy it. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about baby's new shoes. So these are the new tires that I got for the C63s. The original tires were Michelin's. I think they were P1s or Sport ones. I can't remember the brand, the model. But I mean, I love Michelin's, but I think they're overpriced. So what I did is I searched online, and I went to one of my favorite places to buy tires, Tire Rack. Hopefully they'll become a sponsor in the future, because I'll be pushing, what they do, a few times in the channel, because I think they have one of the better prices, and they also sell the warranty on the tires and all that. So I got Falcons, and the model on this one is the Azenis, AZENIS FK510s. They are amazing tires, and at the fraction of the cost of the Michelin's. 4 of these are half of what a set of Michelin's will cost. So those tires are manufactured, actually not manufactured, they're Japanese tires, but I believe now they're being manufactured here in the US. I know that Falcon has a manufacturing facility in Buffalo, New York, so this may have been manufactured here in the US or in Japan, but wherever they were manufactured, they are a great quality. They have a lot of grip in both wet surfaces and dry surfaces, and they're just actually comfortable for sports tires. So I love those tires, highly recommend them. If you're gonna be in the market for tires, give them a consideration because they're very affordable compared to your Pirellis and to your with your Michelins too. And last but not least is the 10 best cars for 2020 according to Car and Driver, in no particular order. I'm just mentioning them. The Honda Accord, then the Mazda CX-5, also the Kia Telluride, the Jeep Gladiator, love that car, the Ram 1500, and two Volkswagens, the Golf GTI and the Jetta GLI, also the Toyota Supra, not crazy about that car, but again, that's my opinion. The Chevy Corvette C8, very nice car, looking very much forward to be able to test it. I like the looks of it. It's a mid-engine, first time the Corvette has a mid-engine. Some of the Corvette car enthusiasts are not very happy with it. Well, I guess the jury's still out there. I think it's coming in 2020, in the spring of 2020. Hopefully I'll be able to find one sooner than that and be able to test it and give you my feedback. But it looks amazing, even though it may not have much of a personality, because I think it looks a lot like a Ferrari. It has the looks of also an Acura NSX. So I'm not sure about the personality of the car compared to the C7, the C6, and the previous Corvettes, but a nice looking car. Next one is the Porsche 718 Boxster and the Cayman, and also the Porsche Macan S and the Turbo. The last few, especially the Porsches, are very expensive. The entry points are in the 60s all the way up to the 80s. The first ones, the Honda Accord, the Mazda, the Kia, are very affordable cars, especially their entry points, and the Volkswagens are in the 20s, high 20s to low 30s. So those are cars that you guys may consider as new cars for the giveaways that hopefully this channel will be able to give very soon. So we have the subscribers. Now we need the hours. I will keep putting out content, hopefully content that you are enjoying. Let me know if you don't. Let me know what else you would like to see. I have received a lot of messages, a lot of recommendations as to what future content I can put out. I will work on that, and definitely I will address most of the recommendations, okay? And I forgot to mention one of the gizmos that came with the iPhone assembly is a remote control with which I can turn on and off the video. That comes very, very handy. So in the spirit of the holidays, whatever you celebrate, today is Hanukkah, so happy Hanukkah, a couple of days, Merry Christmas, a day after, happy Kwanzaa, whatever your flavor, I hope it is safe. I hope you get to spend quality time with your family. Love to your family, love to all you guys. Thanks for, again, supporting the channel. For most of the comments actually the majority, yes, most of the comments, probably 90+% of the comments have been very positive as to the idea, the intention of the channel. Sooner or later, I hope to be able to give the first giveaway. May not be a brand new car. We may be thinking about a used car, but we'll see. We'll as a community will decide what will be the first entry point, whether in the 20s or whether in the 30s. And once the channel is able to achieve that kind of revenue, then we'll look into applicable or cars that will fit that number. Okay, so until the next time, once again, happy holidays, be safe out there, and spend quality time with your family. I know that I will. One of my daughters is coming very early tomorrow, like at 5:30 in the morning from Colorado, picking her up. So that's why I decided to do the video today, because the next couple of days are going to be very hectic. But I will see you sometime after Christmas, okay? Until then, Francisco Claus saying goodbye. See you.